It's Wednesday, January 16, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. New travel restrictions may be on the horizon for Haitians desirous of traveling to Barbados. The revelation from Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, David Commichon, comes 5 months after visa requirements for the French-speaking nation were lifted. Commission told Barbados Today government will meet on Friday to consider a number of options, including adopting a policy similar to that being used by Dominica. Haitians seeking to travel to Roseau must pay a US $400 bond before entering the country. The monies are returned once the visitor leaves within the stay period or used to purchase a return ticket if they overstay.
Barbados could follow the Dominica example. I've actually written to the Dominica ambassador to CARICOM asking them for a full outline of this bond system that they have implemented, the mechanics of it, and how it is working. So that is something that Barbados could possibly do. You see, the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, if we are to stay within the four corners of the law, then the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas says, and the Legal Affairs Committee of CARICOM has confirmed this, that no CARICOM state should be applying visa requirements to Haitians, and they should be granted the 6-month stay.
Prime Minister Mottley has given the assurance that her current Barbados Labour Party administration nor any future government will be allowed to run any covert operations. Addressing Parliament last night, the Prime Minister revealed that she had taken time out from preparing the 2019-2020 estimates to make a contribution to the Public Finance Management Bill 2019, as it was one of the most important pieces of legislation that will be passed in a post-independence Barbados. She promised that under the bill, all politicians and ministers will be held accountable for their actions in the future.
This legislation does not deal with the past, it deals with the future. And it deals, therefore, with ensuring that we continue to commit ourselves that ministers must behave with a certain level of integrity and must comply with appropriate recommendations from the public officers with respect to the public expenditure of funds in this country. And it is captured ultimately at clause 20, subsection 3, that says, notwithstanding 1B and subsection 2, where loss, wastage, or improper use of monies by the government occurs as a result of the decision of the minister is liable for the loss, wastage, or improper use of the monies of the government.
Minister of Labour Colin Jordan has accused some construction companies of unfairly treating their employees in an effort to win bids on projects. Jordan leveled the accusation during yesterday's debate in Parliament on the Employment Rights Amendment Bill 2019. He said by refusing to pay the taxes of employees, those companies were able to outbid their competitors. However, the minister warned that the Barbados Labour Party government would not be doing those guilty companies any favors.
I want to say to those construction companies that this Barbados Labour Party government does not play in that kind of league. You are not going to gain our favor by bringing bags of money, because bags of money does not help us to see our workers as human beings. We are not selling the rights of our workers for any gains, any personal gains on our behalf. That is not how this government operates. If it used to happen before, those days are over. Those days came to an end on May the 24th of 2018. The rights of workers must be respected in Barbados.
Minister Jordan also took issue with some companies which he said frowned on their employees being members of trade unions.
It is bad. It is very bad. I think it will very bad, real bad.
Right. That is better.
That's better.
Yes.
Right. Very, very, very bad behavior to seek to terminate a worker's employment because that worker, fundamentally, because that worker has sought to join a trade union. And I want to put those bad employers on notice, and all other employers, that in our manifesto, which we still see as a contract with our people, there is provision for us to bring recognition of trade union legislation. We have begun to work on it, and we will bring it to this Parliament, to this Honourable House, because we believe that the right of workers to associate freely and to bargain collectively is a fundamental right that must be protected by law.
In sports, 4 points separated new title holders Yellow House Tigers on 254 from last year's champions Blue House Panthers on 250 when Lawrence T. Gay Memorial Primary School held their inter-house sports at the National Stadium yesterday. Having placed fourth last year, Yellow House Tigers rode with determination to ensure that when the final points were tallied, they were the ones taking a victory lap around the stadium track. There was a tie for third between Red House Rockets and Green House Giants as they both accumulated 207 points.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region now, investigations are underway into a cyber attack at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. According to this ZNS report, officials discovered on Monday that several computer servers were hacked at the corporation.
The chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation, Mike Smith, has confirmed that the station's servers have been hacked and business as we know it has pretty much come to a temporary halt. Sometime between midnight and 4 a.m. on Monday morning, hackers manually went into the corporation's system, rendered it compromised, and then presented a ransom of some $50,000 to undo the damage.
Early yesterday morning, we discovered that we couldn't access a lot of our computers, initially in the newsroom and then later on through the rest of the operation. And so our IT people got on it right away and realized that we had been hacked. They were able to communicate by email with the hackers, and they essentially wanted a ransom from ZNS. They wanted us to buy $50,000 worth of Bitcoin for them.
On the international scene, the Somalia-based militant group Al-Shabaab has taken responsibility for a deadly attack at a luxury hotel complex in Nairobi. Gunfire and blasts were heard at the compound in the Westlands district of the Kenyan capital, which houses the hotel as well as offices. We get the details in this Reuters TV report.
Gunfire and flames in the Kenyan capital Nairobi on Tuesday in an attack on an upscale hotel and office complex that's been claimed by Somali Islamist group Al-Shabaab. As smoke rose above 14 Riverside Drive, people fled the building, including 3 men covered in blood and a woman who was carried out after being shot in the leg.
You'll be okay, yeah?
Some office workers climbed out of windows, and many told Reuters that they had to leave their colleagues behind, huddled under their desks.
So some people got in the toilets, other people are still hiding in the stores, and many people are in the offices under the desks. There are so many people inside there.
A spokesman for Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility and said their operations were ongoing.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.